Imagine if you were able to watch your great-grandparents tell stories from their lives. What made them laugh? What moved them? How they responded to adversity and triumph? And what impacted their existence? That would be a treasure. Now you can offer that gift to your loved ones. Hello, I'm Dennis Tardon. For more than 45 years, I've been a professional interviewer documenting the lives and times of hundreds of people. I will guide you or your family member through the important stories of your lives using my unique interviewing skills. I'm now offering my legacy interviews worldwide via Zoom from the comfort of you or your loved one's own home. All you need is a webcam, and I will do the rest. Contact me today to schedule your legacy interview.
Getting salty with sanity here at the beach. Stand on my feet. There's no place that I would rather be than getting salty with sanity.
Hey, hello there. Welcome to another episode of Crafting with Patti Bee. Sorry this has started late. Technical difficulties again. If I could figure it out, I'd be happy, but I haven't figured it out yet. But anyway, here we are, and I'm happy that you're here. Today, I'm going to continue teaching about the tools that I use, and so that you can decide whether you would like to invest in them or use them. And working our way up to where we can put it all together and use it in a lot of different ways. So today I'm going to be demonstrating hopefully two things. One is a die cutting machine, which I've fell in love with and have been using for a while, and replaces a lot of the not the stamps, but these things, whatever they call. I forget what they call them. Anyway, this is a handy one to have. The bigger, they make them in a couple of sizes, but you can get different size dies without having to have a dozen of those. So here's one. These are called dies, and I keep these. I buy magnets. You're supposed to be able to peel the back off and stick them on something. I leave the back on, and it holds these. These are all different circles. You know what? I lost my thumbnail, so it's a little hard. But you can see the difference is very minute between the two sizes. So this is handy for doing a lot of different things. You can cut them out. And what you use them for, I should say, is a die cutting machine. This is a Sizzix Big Shot, which I really like. I have an electric one, but it's just so big and it's kind of noisy. So I bit the bullet and I bought this one, and I'm really happy that I did. And then I started investing in the dies. So I started with things like the circles and you know, some of the other designs that they have. Let's see, there we go. All the way up to, let's see, I've got pets, and I have borders and things like hearts. Just a lot of different ones. So let me show you a couple of cards. And of course, I forgot to bring over. Okay, so I picked out a couple of circle cards, and you can see that this was just a piece of paper that already had these birds on it. I put a little bit of fabric to make their wings stand out a little bit more, and made a like a sun or a moon, whichever you want to think of it as. And then I used a smaller one. Oh yeah, there we go. And I made a moon talking to this little witch. So you can fill in, like I use a lot of stickers or prints papers that have pictures on them, but they don't quite fill up the page, or you want to make it more dimensionable, something like that, and interesting. So I do a lot of layers, as you can see. So here's a bigger circle that just really filled in the background of this witch printout that I had. And here's another witch from that same packet, but you can see that the size difference, there we go. The size difference in these two circles is just a little bit different, but becomes the right size. And here's another one that I made, and put these little bats on. So that's just using the circles, you know. So I like it for that. Some new ones that I have that I wanted to play with is, I'm working on Halloween. I don't know if you can see my background and all. It's my coffee cup Halloween thing. Figure this gives everybody time to catch up. So here's another one that I wanted to show you. Sometimes you can get the stamps and then the coordinating dies. And this one is from Stamping Bella. And so this is bunnies. So you would stamp the bunnies and then cut them out with the die. One of the things that I like about the dies is you can get things that you normally can't find pictures for, like this one. This is a golfing one, and it's masculine. Masculine is very hard to find. Anyway, the dies come like this, and then you would just break them apart. They come apart pretty easily to use them. So you would take all these pieces out. And then you're left with something like this that'll make a
Julie from Missouri says hi.
pretty nice die. So let me
Can you hear me?
show you how this works.
Can you hear me?
This is another die I have, and you probably want to get a pick. You can use a needle, you know, to pull it out. In the back of these are little holes, and that's how you can get them out. You just stick something in those little holes, and it'll break the suction of this. So this is another little, could make this into a Father's Day card.
Can you hear me?
So
Hello,
one of the
Mom?
things you can do with this
Patti Bee, can you hear
is,
me?
let's see, I got a piece of, okay. So I'm going to cut out another one of these, but I'm only going to use part of it. So I'm going to move this die machine, and I'm going to point us down so you can see what I'm doing better. There we go.
Can you hear me, Patty?
Okay. So the die machine comes with a couple of pads. This is a new one. The pads tend to warp, so you have to get new ones. But this one doesn't warp. You can get it shorter. I just happen to have the long one, but you don't have to have, the second piece doesn't have to be as long. And I'll show you how that works. So I'm going to take this piece of paper. Let me turn
Can
it
you hear me?
sideways. Maybe you can see better that way. All right, so I'm going to
Bobby,
take this
can you
piece
hear
of
me?
paper that's going to go in here,
I don't think she can
and I'm
hear
going
me,
to
guys.
put this on there.
Hello?
Sometimes it's good to turn it sideways. And to hold it down, you can use washi tape because it's not real, it doesn't have a lot of stick to it. And you can, use it over and over. So I just stick that on. And then I'm going to put my second layer on, and I'm going to crank it through. And I like to crank it back. I might need to add another shim. Let's see. No, it worked. It worked.
Can you hear me?
So I'm going to take the paper and poke out the little pieces and then get the whole big one out. Okay. So now I have two of the same, but one has a pattern on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of snip off the baby's head and snip off his arms. Well, let's give him some sleeves. I'm just going to snip it off by his sleeves. And then I'm going to let's make it a little round at the bottom. So what I'm doing is cutting out a little piece to make the outfit for the baby. Of course, I could just make this a shirt. Let's do that. And there we go. Now the baby has a little shirt. Oh, let's see. There we go. And you could make Dad have a matching shirt. Let's cut off his sleeves, his head, and
Can you hear me now, Patty?
and then the baby's
Can you hear me?
gonna go there. So you can see how that would become a little more interesting to do it that way. Or you could just color it in. Sometimes I do that. I just color it on in. Okay, so these other pieces can go in the garbage or the scrap pile. Let's do another one. So here is, I'll open this up. I got these from Timo, which is a company that is a mail order. It comes from China, but most of the dyes are made in China anyway. And they're pretty cheap compared. They take longer to get here than it would like buying
you hear
from
me?
somebody local. And I do try to support people who are local,
Patty, your head is, we can't
especially
see your
small
face.
shops. But
Oh, no.
I do a lot of ordering from scrapbook.com and going to Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's, and especially when they're on sale. Okay, so this one you can see has all these little parts still stuck to it. So I'm just going to take those off. There we go. For those of you who don't know, I lost my thumbnail. And boy, if you don't think you use your right-hand thumb, if you're right-handed, let me tell you, you'll figure that out soon enough. All right, so my fingers aren't working as well. I'm just going to use these pliers to twist these off. And these are just candies and a candy corn. Okay, so now we have a pumpkin. And let's see, I have a piece of pumpkin paper. So let's put the pumpkin down on the paper. And just so it doesn't, you can make it straight on the paper, but if you just turn it a little bit, I find that it just cuts better. I'm not sure why that is. So now I'm looking at this to see if there's anything else that I would like maybe to have in orange. And maybe I think I might try this lollipop. And stick that on.
Can you hear me now?
So usually what I do is I keep extra
Patty.
pieces until they lose their stick on the machine. But I guess I took them off for aesthetic reasons for today. All right. So you've got the flat side up. The raised edge is pointing down towards your paper. You put your shim in, and you're going to push it through. And you feel this a little bit more because this paper is a little thicker. But it'll do the same job. And, okay, didn't come all the way through that way. Let's go this way. Try and see what happens. Part of the handle didn't come out. So we'll give it another pass through and see how that does. There we go. Sometimes it takes a few passes, but I'm just popping out those. And I can pop out the little eyes and the mouth. I might save those. Those might go on a black pumpkin later. I'll just move those down there. And let's see if we have the little lollipop. We do. And I'm just going to poke it out. And out it comes. So, what do I do with the pumpkin? Sometimes I think the world just really messes with me. Oh, it's got to be here somewhere. Really? Life is just full of stuff. And it can drive you crazy. Well, you could just laugh at it. Oh, it's still in the die. Found it. Put the pumpkin back up here. And let's see. There we go. Oh, boy. I just amuse myself. You know, I keep telling the kids that when the doctor tries to tell them that I'm losing it, you tell them I've always been like this. This is nothing new. I'll be putting me away extra early. Okay, so now, if I wanted to, I could do this. I could make another one for the back of this, or I could just cut it out and glue this little yellow piece of paper behind the pumpkin. So that's one thought. And another thought is to take a piece of scrap and let's put the pumpkin back on. Find my shim. And let's send it through. You know, I thought this was going to hurt my hand, this constant, but it's not. It doesn't. And it's kind of therapeutic. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just make a whole bunch, you know, and just have them in a little plastic bag so that I can just start putting cards together, you know. So I keep things grouped in like holidays, masculine, feminine, baby, girl, whatever. So now I got some black eyes that came out of here that if I wanted to, let's put this on a piece of paper you can see. So if I wanted to, hold on, let me move this down again. There we go. So if I wanted to, I could glue oh, I missed my thumbnail. I miss it. Okay. So I could glue that in.
Can you hear me now, Mom?
I don't know if I can hold this up so you can see it.
She can't hear me, guys.
Enough?
Can you hear
Anyway.
me? She hasn't realized that she can't hear me.
Here's another idea.
Oh,
If you put these together and you just offset it a little bit, you see the black behind? It'll just give it a little bit more dimension. Hold it up that way. So they're pretty versatile in what you can do with them. And then again, I just keep them in, you know, an envelope. I get these from Amazon, the envelopes, and I buy sheets of the magnetic, you know what you would call those, magnetic sheets. You can also go to Home Depot or Lowe's and get a magnetic sheet that goes on top of a air vent. So when your heater or, you know, is not on, you don't want that, it'll seal it up. So they sell that for that purpose, but it's the same kind of thing. It's a magnet. I mean, you could go online and see other people have different ways of storing and locating.
Mom.
This one has a Velcro on it. I print out labels on the top, and then I just store them so I can just kind of go through.
Can you
This
hear
one
me?
has spiders, a bat, and a cat. And this is on a magnet that I got in the mail. So I just used it. Works. All right. I can't see if there's any questions or anything. So, Sam, if you could tell me, that would be great. And with a black marker,
She doesn't realize that she
I always
lost
have
her
a
sound. She
Sharpie
can't hear
extra
me.
fine marker, ultra fine, I think it's called.
Oh, Lord.
I can make this lollipop. There we go. Make the lollipop a little more intricate. I could color the stem in black, but I'm not sure what paper I'm going to put it on, so I'll wait. So that's something that you can do. There's also these white jelly roll pens that I get, and these are really good for lots and lots of stuff. So if I wanted to, I can color this in with my jelly roll pen.
She's gonna be like after the show. No wonder I wasn't getting
Or,
any questions. You weren't reading me the comments.
like I did before, I could just cut another one of these out from a piece of scrap
She
and only
doesn't
use the
realize
top,
that she can't hear me.
or only use the bottom.
Oh,
So anyway, yeah,
Patty,
that is a die cut machine.
this is
These
one for
together.
the rest.
So another tool that I have that goes with this die cutting machine is this. It's like it's a roller that has all these bristles. They're very hard. And what I use these for is when you get some, more intricate dies, you can roll this and it'll cut out, push it down into there instead of using the pen and doing it one by one. This one is pretty simple. It doesn't have too many pieces coming out of it, so that's fine. But some of the more intricate dies, like this one, that's a lot of little pieces to have to poke out. So you just would, rub that on the back of this and it would poke out almost all of them. You might get stuck with a few. Yeah. Anyway, what else? I have one that makes tags. So I could make a tag. Well, that one's too big. But if I used all the candies, I could certainly make a tag with lots of different candies on it. And of course, you can use your stamps to put a sentiment. Happy Halloween. Floral stamps help you make flowers. And there are so many different ones. This is one I just bought. It's a sunflower. So that's going to make a pretty sunflower for us. Which can, be part of a Halloween, or it can be part of a fall. I think next month I'll try to do something around fall. So that way you have time to get it, get the supplies and put it together for yourselves if you want to do that.
Hi, Lorraine. Hi, Julie. Hi, Em.
Maybe we could
Thanks
make
for
some
watching, everyone. She can't hear me.
nameplates for the table.
I could read the comments, but she won't be able to hear me.
Let's see what I come up with. They just opened up a Hobby Lobby by me. Oh, a Hobby Lobby. I haven't gone there yet. But that's exciting. I'll probably get some really good ideas. I also go on YouTube a lot and watch what other people are doing and making, and get a lot of inspiration and some good ideas. And sometimes if you're you're stuck with how to use something, you can look it up. Sometimes people use things in different ways, which is fun. Okay, so that's die cutting. I'm going to move this over and put some of this away.
Yeah, I don't think she could see the comments,
Move
and she
some of this
can't
out
hear
of
me.
my
That's
way. I'm
why
going to
I
save
usually
these
read the
faces
comments to
because,
her. So, oh
you know,
well.
you could put those faces just on a piece of black paper and you don't even have to have
And I
the
usually
pumpkin. It
tell
could just be
her.
the face and
Oh,
people
yeah.
will know what it is for sure. Okay,
Patty.
so before I put everything away, I'm going to show you how to do this. Because this is going to combine stamping and die cutting, right? And this little die cut came on a piece of magnet. The more expensive companies do. So after talking to my friend Madeline, one sec, she let me know a better way to stamp. And
Oh, yeah, that's Maddie. I tagged her.
so I purchased
Maybe she's busy.
this pad, which gives you better, crisper, more accurate stamps. You don't tend to leave as much space between them or gaps or, I got this bracelet and it has magnets. It's a little bat on a stick, one of the candies. I went near my sewing basket the other day and I came out and I had all the needles stuck on the magnets. It was pretty funny. Okay, so let me get a piece of paper and these stamps. Now, you usually need a backing for these. Let's move this over here so I can reach it. So I've got 3 little bunnies. And let's see if I can fit them all on this. One. I think I'll use the bigger one because I want to leave enough space. We got 1 bunny, 4 bunnies, 3 little bunnies, and a stamp that says, follow the bunny, he has the chocolate. Follow the bunny, he has the chocolate. Okay, so I'm going to put these on the back of my lucite. This is, you can buy these at Michael's or Joann's or whatever. And you put your cling stamps on them. And I'm going to need, sorry, just have too much stuff out here. That's what the problem is. And, oh, next to me. So one of the other things that I bought is, this is from Momenta, and it's for cleaning your stamps off between colors and after you're finished with them, because you don't want to leave the ink on it. It'll build up and it'll corrode your stamps. You won't get as crisp of a picture, and you want them to last a pretty long time. Okay, so I am going to, this is the black. Now let's wait. All right. I'm going to use the brown, and I am just going to stamp up this brown. Might be getting old. I think we can make it work. You can buy dies to re-ink your stamps if you want. Lately, I've been getting the Tim Holtz stamps. I like those. Okay, so I'm going to place this on the paper. I'm going to turn it down. There we go. Now you can see. So I inked up the stamp, and now I'm just pressing it down. And yeah, I'm not real happy with that. Let's try it again with a different color. What do I have here? All right, so I am inking this up again. This is a Tim Holtz Distress. And I'm going to try this again on the other side. See if I can't get a better imprint. Yeah, much better. You can see that bottom one is so much clearer than the top one. So I use the bottom. I'm just going to cut that off. Don't have to, but I'm going to. And now I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to bring back my die cut. But before I do that, let me just wipe this off because you can also use a diaper wipe to clean your stamps. I just don't want any. And this is reusable. It'll get stiff as a board when it dries. So I fold it before. But you can reuse it all the time. It's great. Okay, so now I have the stamps that go, the dies that go with the stamps. And again, take these apart. And what I'm going to do is match this up. I'm even turn it around for you. I'm going to match these up with the little stamps that I just did of these 3 little bunnies. I don't know if you saw oh, No Icing with Drita last night, but apparently she's been in the Galapagos Islands trying to keep the rabbits from eating the strawberries. So I'm just matching this up. So I don't need such a big piece. I'll just. Now these you definitely don't want them to slide. So you definitely, once you get them set up, you definitely want to tape them down. Okay, let's get this one.
Can you hear me now?
And I'll need more tape.
She still can't hear me, guys. Tech gremlins.
Washi tape is the best. You know, they sell tape, purple tape, I think it's called, or whatever. And I use that too. But washi tape works just as well. All right. So I think, there we go. Okay. Now, I need my shim. I'm going to put that on top and crank this through. So these dies are not cheap. So I would suggest if you're starting out to get, you know, larger shapes and look for the ones that you think you'll get the most use out of first. ones that are most versatile. I'll take this off the tape. And here we have the bunny with his little imprint. Let me hold it up against something black, and you can see he's cut out. And you could color him in before you cut him out. Is the best. I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes, so I didn't color them in, but you can also color them in afterwards. And it's always a good idea to put your stamps, especially these little ones, right back on the magnet. Otherwise, they can get lost. Okay. So now I have 3 bunnies in different sizes. And I still have, I love the way I lose things while I'm just sitting here with them. It just amazes me. I just amaze myself.
Can you hear me now,
This one
Patti?
says follow the bunny.
Lorraine
Anyway,
has a question.
Oh, here it is. That was the bad one.
Can you hear me, Lorraine?
So now you have this follow the bunny up at the top, and it doesn't come with a die. So that's when you can use, one of these other dies. Let's see, fancy oval. You can try it.
Lorraine, I'll have her go back and
which
answer
one
the
will
questions in the
fit.
comments after the show. Don't worry, she'll answer it after.
Okay, this one fits just right. So I'm gonna side that up, and let's cut that one out too. Of course, you could do this on different color papers. It doesn't have to be on white. You could just do plain silhouettes of the bunny, and maybe ink it up with white on dark chocolate to make it look like chocolate. Okay, that one can go. So let's take this off and pop this out, and then you have a nice little sign to go with your bunny cutouts. Which I'm gonna put on to, let's see, maybe this yellow, pink. Oh, pink. I got in pink. There we go. Got a piece of paper in pink. So I could make a really pretty card. To go on. Is that, can you see that? So if I was to glue this paper, I probably have another piece of paper a little bit bigger. I cut them down 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch, a quarter of an inch on each of these 2 sides, bigger than the size you want will give you 1/8 of an inch all around. And I think I've shown you that before. So that is that piece of it. Not sure how we are with time. But what I'd like to show you is another tool. And this is called an embossing tool. And this requires a heat gun, stamps, And some embossing powders. And that's what this whole thing is. So this is an embossing tool, heat tool. This one has two settings, higher fan and a lower fan. It can get pretty high. It comes with a couple of tips. You can use it for a lot of different things. I just use it for embossing. So here we have one that I did earlier. And the powders actually melt onto the paper. So using, let's see. Okay. So what you need is, this is like a glue embossing stamp pad, and it's like glue. 40 years ago. Ah, cool, Julie. And you can get refills for that like you can with regular stamps. It's still just, you know, re-glue your pad. Just rub it around. Or you can just buy a new pad and not have that, depending on how much you use. Okay, so I use coffee filters. You can use a piece of paper as well. And then there are embossing powders, and they come in different colors. I have
Hi,
gold,
Maddie. She can't hear me. She's gonna have to
white,
respond
black,
to all the
red.
comments for the show.
You can get a lot of different colors.
Keep commenting.
This gray. These are older, I can tell you that. Embossing powders, gold. Come in different colors. Sometimes you can pick them up at yard sales. Anyway, okay. So, stamping. Let's see what I have here. Stamping. Oh, wait, I had.
Oh yeah, Maddie, she was telling everybody about the stamping pad advice that you gave her and how she's using her new stamp pad. She's all happy about it.
So these are good. You can get sayings. So it's good for that. This is one I bought. I tend to make a lot of cards out of. It's yeah, for girlfriends, thinking of you, and coffee too, things like that. And this is a Halloween one I have. Sometimes they come with this piece of like acetate that helps keep them safe. Is that going to fit on here? Not really. Let's get a bigger piece. Okay, that will work. All right, so I'm going to take that Halloween stamp and let me turn it down so you can see what I'm doing. And take the Halloween stamp and I'm going to ink it up.
Maddie, she's not looking at the comments and she can't hear me.
You know, it's not just a regular glue. It's made for this. And I'm going to stamp it on this card. Give it a little time to set in. And you can kind of see. Then I'm going to put that into the coffee filter. And I'm going to pour a generous amount on here. put the top on, even though you're going to pour some back, because if you knock it over, ugh. Ugh. Is that a word? Okay, so now I'm just going to sprinkle that around. Tap it off as much as I can. The top back on my ink pad into the filter. I'm going to open up my jar and pour it back in. So like, you know, like glitter, this gets on everything. All right, so now the magic happens. I'm going to turn this on. And it's getting pretty darn hot. What this is doing is melting.
Hello, welcome in from the Twitch viewer, the Twitch side.
And you
Hello,
can see it change. But, okay. You can see it change as you go along. And there you go. What I forgot to tell you is you really can brush off these extra pieces around it with a soft paintbrush before you heat set it, because as you see down here, I got a little extra bling on it. So now I can cut this out with my die cut machine. And I should have taken my pad away when I did that. I could cut this out with my die cutting machine. And let's see. Maybe one of these. Yeah. Or I could leave it just the way it is. Oh. Put on my heating tool. And just tape this down so that it's centered, straight. And run this through the machine. Again, I'm putting, you know, the flat side is up, the raised edge of the die is facing down. And we can just run that through the machine. And I always like to go back, give it 2 passes, especially if with cardstock, which is a little thicker. And then you can just take this off. And you can see I'm reusing the tape. And there we go. Okay. So what I forgot to do is clean my Halloween stamp. Okay. It's always hard, you know. It's always hard to, you know, I get everything out here in my living room because my art room is just so jam-packed. I should really clean it out before I ever go back to the Hobby Lobby that they just opened near me. Yeah, I might make that a goal. All right, so, don't know if you can see this close up, but there's my name. And that's on a stamp. It says handmade by Patricia Bernard. That's me. I should have had Patti Bee put on it. Maybe I'll have another stamp made. Patti Bee. Or my new title, Grandmama, with the emphasis on the second ma. Mama! Kids got me into that this year. We watched some movie, and Jane Fonda was the grandmama. So I picked it up for me too. Why not? Plagiarism. It's always fun. All right, let's see what we got here. We have some old papers. Lots of different papers, but let's see about this one. I put this behind there. Let's turn that around and get a better corner. Happy Halloween. This way, I might make a nice card. So what I'm thinking is, if the card is facing this way, I could just make it simple. I could put like some brads to hold this in. I could make a little one bigger in a coordinating color with this background. And maybe add something down at the bottom, like another border of black, or, you know, something. Or if I did it this way, because I'm not going to be able to hold this up without it slipping. You can see, you know, and then I could have little candies sticking out of the pumpkin. Lots of different, you know, this would make a more masculine card. I have some smaller ones. Okay, so the last thing with the die cutting machine is these. And these are embossing. And I'm not sure what you call them, but you can see that there's a negative and then a positive. So what you do is you take a piece of your paper. Let's do this, maybe this brown. And you put it in here. Now, I don't have it with me right now, but you can spray this with very, very lightly. Like I'll spray into the air and then whisk that in, and you'll get a crisper design. Of course, I don't have that with me right now. Don't even know which bag it's in. You know, I'm doing a lot of stuff right now. I'm running an art show a week from Saturday, a week from tomorrow. So I've been doing a lot of stuff with there, and I've got different bags with different stuff for different meetings, and it's a lot of fun. Anyway, let's pretend I did that. Whisk the paper through it. You don't want to spray it directly on the paper because you don't want the paper wet. Just a little bit of dip. Then you bring up your die cutting machine again. And this may not need a shim. Yes, it's going to need a shim. Okay. If it doesn't go through, which it's not going to, I'll show you what else you can do. The platform has these different layers to it. So what I'm going to do is open one layer, put this on. didn't work. Here we go. And put the shim and see if that goes through. Yeah, I can feel that is going through pretty well. Sometimes I add an extra piece of cardstock paper or something like that. And of course, I like to go through both ways. Take it out. And let's see, can you see this? It makes for a nice embossed plain piece of paper that you can use. You do need some space with this. Okay, move that out of the way. And I'm going to show you what you can do with this. Of course, you can leave this just the way it is, and it looks lovely. Or you can take some of your inks. You can't see, hold on. There we go. So what I'm doing is I'm just rubbing the ink very lightly. I'm not pressing. And getting a really nice color on the raised part. And now you can really see the design on this. Right? So you can cut that out. Use your paper cutter or scissors. And add this to your card. This would make a nice background. I'm just cutting it out with scissors because you can really see where it needs to cut, and the paper cutter's over there. Yeah, get rid of this. Little scraps hang on to the big ones. Oops. Oops, that. Okay. So then you can cut this to fit on your card. That way it kind of covers it completely. Or you could even do it right on the card itself. You can put it through. Anyway, so that's the, and I have lots of different embossing folders that you can get. This one. I have one that has just dots on it that I use for like snow. I don't have as many of those. I don't tend to use them as much as the one with the snow. Or it could be bubbles. It doesn't have to be snow. It could be bubbles. So that's kind of versatile. It's my newest one. Yeah. So this is the shim. Shim goes in here. I use these envelopes to keep these in too because it just keeps them safe, and it follows my whole system. How are we for time? Are we good? Should I keep going? I could show you some more of the cards that I've made that I'll be selling. I have a whole box. Yes, my volume is up. I don't know why she can't talk to me.
Can you hear me?
That's what happened before when we were trying to get online.
Mm-hmm. Maddie said you got another hour.
Can you type a
Can't hear
comment?
me. She can't hear me or see the comments. Oh,
And
she
I
can
can
only
look
go.
and see. I love you, Maddie. Yeah, yeah. I could keep going. I could craft forever. Anyway, while we're waiting for Sandy, look, these are
Waiting
some of
for
my
me. I've been
cards
here the whole
that I
time.
have that I've. My problem is I can't do two the same. I have to keep, you know. I just make them out of everything. There's nothing that I won't take. Lorraine, there's nothing I won't take and make into a card. I've got a whole bunch of unicorn papers, and I got cupcake toppers that have unicorns, and I'll take them off the toothpicks, and I'll use those on cards that I want to do with Coralie. So yeah, ribbons.
Okay,
Get
Meg.
a nice dimension, and of course layers.
She didn't even realize for over an hour that she hasn't heard
Yeah.
me say one word.
Sometimes I go to the party store and I'll look for, confetti, not the small plastic ones, but other kinds, if they're a little bigger that I can use. And I display them in these boxes, which is really nice because when my show is done, I just put them all back in the box and close it up and carry it out. So I've got a bunch of boxes for sure.
I know she doesn't need me. She doesn't.
And then
even
we
notice
have the horizontal ones.
hear me.
Hey, no puppy. Some of these wiggle bats. You know what I don't have out is my floating bat one. I think I showed that last year. I can show that to you next time.
Cards.
Am I going too fast? Sorry. This is a fun one. But stick. You just. I try to make stories out of my cards. Like they need to tell a little story. At least that's what I try to do. So yeah. I've been talking so much I didn't even drink my coffee. Oh, you can get big stamps too. So that's what this one is. I got this at a yard sale. You had a real bat in the belfry? An Etsy, a shop. I know. I need to get the square too before the show because everybody is using credit cards now and nobody carries cash. I don't do too many shows. I do one or two a year. So really I could use an Etsy shop because I've got a lot of cards. And now I'm branching into the books, the interactive books, the journals. So these are fun. And of course, I'm always doing things with my my art buddy friends. I guess this goes in here somehow. So yeah, so you can make these books with different pages and make different papers, and there's a die cut. Envelopes, tissue paper, putting tissue paper. We use old cards. You can write in these. You can put pictures in. You can put mementos. I haven't done too many of these. What I really like doing is these guys. And these are really interactive. So these have magnets in them. And you can, these are photo albums. And you can make them for different themes and in different ways using different papers. If you go to Graphic 45, www.graphic45, and then you look at their videos, they have their own line of papers, and then they show you how to make different artists make books out of their stuff, and then they demonstrate them. So you don't have to invent it. But there's, oh, thank you. It's all different. All these different ways that you can expand and create. And then in between, they have these sheets that come out that you can use to put photos on. Tags, you can put a photo on the back, the front. You can journal. Anyway, that's that. And then I started doing these. I started doing this when I was visiting Sam. And here's one that I colored in. This isn't really Zentangle. It's Zen. It's Zen. It's supposed to be meditative, and it really is. It really is meditative. You just learn different ways of coloring these in. This one is just completely abstract. You make the lines, and then you cover it in. That's fun. Again, you can go on YouTube and you can see what other artists do, and all the different designs that they create. They're easier than you think. Yeah. And then behind me, I don't know if I can see it. I'm making a basket for the door instead of a wreath. So I'm putting together a bunch of flowers into styrofoam in the bottom of the basket, and I'll put a ribbon around that. Hang that on the front door until October, and then in October up go the Halloween stuff. I love Halloween. It's probably one of my favorites. Yeah, I think it might be. Christmas is good. Yeah. Anyway. All right. San, I can't hear you or see you.
I'm here.
Hope it's okay at your end. I'm sorry, I can't hear you, honey. I don't know why. I don't know what that's about.
It's okay. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Yeah.
And we'll see you.
All right. So,
wish
let me
Patty
know.
a happy birthday. Her birthday's coming up.
Let me know, Nick, what you'd like to see me do, or learn about. Christmas ornaments. I think I'll bring out the bat card next time, and I make it like it's so that it looks like they're floating in air. That's pretty cool. Oh, thanks, Maddie. Thanks a lot. That pad really helps with the stamping. I have to say, it was expensive. The only one I could find. I think it was from scrapbook.com. They have a lot of stuff. Oh, so nice to see my daughter being loved by so many people. Yep, she is. I had a great time visiting with her and the grandkids, and yeah, swimming and hanging out and getting my new title of Grandmama, which for some reason the kids just didn't catch on to. They still don't call me Grandmama. They just want to call me Grandma. What? I got to be the sea witch in the pool with Coralie. That happens. I came home all tan. All right. I guess we're close to ending. Let me turn around and see what time it is. 2:35. Okay, so we're 35 minutes over. But that's all right. We started 20 minutes late. Okay, not too bad. All right, guys. Till next time. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, thank you. I love it. I do have fun sharing with you all. And yeah, love you. Bye.